The California Teachers Association, CTA, and the Institute for Teaching, IFT, present IFT Expo 2015, a series of presentations by IFT grant recipients.
All right, thank you all for coming. I think this is on. I'm Cristina and this is Marlena Schroeder. We're from River City High School, which is in West Sacramento. And our presentation today is about the grants we've received 2 years in a row for a program called Academic Outreach. Okay, so a little bit of background for you about our school and our site. River City High School is in West Sacramento. We're right across the river from Sacramento. We do have a pretty diverse population of students. There's some demographic information at the bottom for you to kind of see who our students are. But we do have about 65% of students on free and reduced lunch. So that is both our general population and also almost all of the target population for this particular project. Do you want to do that? Either way. Okay. So I'll give you a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about and then let Marlena step in for a couple. Our general program, Academic Outreach, is an after-school program designed to try to help students who may be falling through the cracks academically, socially, in all of their school and life stuff. So what it ends up looking like with our grant funding is 90 minutes after school on every Wednesday and Thursday. Students are invited to attend. We try to make it mandatory, however, based on having low GPAs. And then we basically offer them free tutoring. And a lot of times that looks a lot more like babysitting and just helping them get their work done than actual tutoring. But we have a couple new programs in place this year that offer higher level tutoring as well.
So this picture right here is from our website and just represents what the program's about. So you can see we offer tutoring, and it's free tutoring for all students and all of their academic needs. So it's not just students with below a GPA of 1.5. It's offered to any student, anyone who wants help, they can stay after school. It's for all subjects, and I want to highlight one of them, which is EL Math, which is new this year. So we've added chemistry, physics, algebra 2, calculus, the challenging courses. But EL Math has really helped because a struggling population are the EL students and math. And so what we have is a paraeducator who stays after and speaks and teaches in Spanish, but teaches math to the students, and that's really helps the program substantially. And it just shows kind of how organized it is and diverse it is for the students and the subjects that we can serve. The history of it, and we are the two science teachers who decided that it was not acceptable for students to earn 0.0 GPAs their freshman year. And we walked into the principal's office and said, hey, we have this great idea. And she said, great. And so we started with, in the fall of 2012, 2 unpaid teachers, that's us. And we printed out a list of 373 students that had GPAs below 2.0, and we said, great, here we go. Both of us are going to tackle all of these students. And we saw a lot of success, and some students didn't show up, and we didn't really have a catch for that. It was just brand new. As you can see our progression, we moved to 5 paid teachers, and that was a site budget. And it was, again, after school, and this was 1 day a week. We then moved to 11 paid teachers 2 days a week, and that second day really helps out because unfortunately if a student's absent for 1 day, then they miss the program for 2 full weeks, and this way we can catch them. And I'll move up to now, so fall of 2014, we have 15 paid teachers. We have 2 tiers. Tier 1 meaning invited, mandatory, you have too low of a GPA, let's try to help you. And tier 2 where our students can opt in and tell us, hey, I'm really struggling in chemistry, can you help us? Or whatever the subject is. And we have incentives, and one of the best incentives has turned out to be a $5 gift card to Target. If they show up 6 times in a row, they earn this $5 gift card. And it makes all the difference in the world for the students who maybe won't show up. They want to show up for that 6 times to earn the gift card. That is site and grant funded.
Go ahead and do
Okay.
this one.
So our initial query was with students with a GPA below 1.5. And it's a little bit different each time because we have 15 paid positions and we reset the query each time grades reset. We're on a block schedule, so it's a bit different. Students get brand new teachers and new classes in January. So we're on a 4x4 schedule.
Okay, I'll go ahead. And so just so you guys can see, excuse me, just so you can see where our cutoff is and what our GPAs have done over time, going back really quick. Basically, our query point changes each semester. We try to target the maximum number of students that we're able to serve. So if we run a query of below 1.5, like we did the first time and we had 373 students, that's our target population. If things improve for whatever reasons and we run another query and now there's only 200 students below 1.5, we set the bar a little bit higher and now we're targeting everyone under 2.0. So it varies from time to time, but overall, some of our data here this is just percentage of students with below a 1.5 GPA. It fluctuates. A lot of that does involve the seasons, the fall semester versus spring semester, but we're hoping that the overall trend will continue to be a little bit down each time. That's our main goal, is to get students out of that really failing range of the ones who have 1.0, 0.0, et cetera. Goals of the program overall, we're hoping to improve students in everything. So by improving grades, we're hoping they will like school a little bit more, improve attendance, behavior. And then long-term goals, we also help students with things like getting ready for what's next. So sometimes we end up with seniors in our program who have to be there. They were mandatorily invited to attend. And maybe they are doing okay. When students are doing okay in classes, we help them work on extra credit, we help do community college applications, tell them about FAFSA. We try to find ways for them to be involved and move on toward whatever is next for them. The results of our efforts so far have been really, really positive. It's definitely become a part of our school culture and climate. It's kind of the go-to for anything on campus, like, oh, this kid's doing bad? Oh, well, just add AO. We'll do this. Make them go to AO, add her to this list, etc. So it's been fun because we have students who have graduated from the program, so they got their GPA up for a semester. There are, of course, many repeaters also, or some who graduate and then come back. But the kids who do graduate are really proud of it, and they'll talk to each other and be like, oh, you have to go to AO, I served my time, I got out of that. They're very, very pleased with themselves for that, so it's kind of fun. The downside to being a community and district recognized program is that we've become a Band-Aid for a lot of issues, which I mentioned a little bit. That's something we're trying to work on right now, is how do we keep it focused on our target population or expand it in more organized ways where it's not just automatically, right now it's like every IEP plan that gets written, add to academic outreach, everything. It's just kind of a fix all, which is great. We want to help as many students as possible, but we need a little more structure there. We have a lot of support from our site staff, including administration and other teachers. This is a picture of Marlena's classroom. We've got peer tutors, a really robust peer tutoring program of higher level students who stay after school. They get some of their service learning hours done, and then they go way above and beyond that just because they want to help and enjoy doing it. This is an email from another staff member who's basically thanking the AO mentor teachers for taking the time to do this, because when it works well, it actually decreases the workload for other teachers. If you have fewer kids failing, you have fewer interventions to do on your own. So this was from a PE teacher just saying like, hey, it's amazing, these freshmen are suddenly turning in their assignments. They still suck, but hey, they're getting D's instead of F's. And that makes all the difference sometimes. Next slide, I have to read this one because it's one of my favorites. This was from the first semester we did academic outreach, and there was a student who had no work to do. Why did he have to be there? So grumpy. But he had a journalism assignment coming up for one of his classes, which was to write about something happening at school. So I was like, okay, why don't you write about how much you hate academic outreach? And what he wrote was, this is a boring after-school program I have to go to, so I get better grades. I don't know why, because I'm doing well in my classes, I think. I'm not failing any of my classes. Lowest grade I have is a D. The teacher have us do all of this so we can raise our grades and probably get accepted to collage. This is his words. One student attending this program, he had to include quotes, named Kevin, said, it's a waste of time and everyone hates it. I strongly agree with him. Another student attending this program also said he don't like this and that he has better things to do than this. I somewhat agree with him. In conclusion, I really hope I can raise my grade and get out of this after-school program and never get back in it. Which I was just like, oh, your anger is exactly what I want in my life. Thank you so much. So some of them are motivated. Some of them end up wanting to be there and staying even longer, even after they've graduated. We have kids who come back or will bring, come on, friends, like, I have to do this. You just stay too. So we do have some who want to be there. But even the ones who don't, we can't ask for a better feedback than that. I'm going to go over data really quickly. This is from fall of 2013. We're still working on our data collection and analysis. We'd really like to get some more, but it's a work in progress. This is from when we had 365 students enrolled doing 2 days a week of tutoring. And overall, our results were good. The only thing we did not have any effect on was tardies. Apparently, doing after-school tutoring does not affect getting to class on time. However, It did affect absences, and I'm not sure what was cause and effect, but students who attended academic outreach more regularly had fewer absences overall. For period 1, 2, and 3 grades, there was a positive correlation, which basically ended up being if students attend there's a cutoff point, I think it's attending 6 to 8 sessions of academic outreach, they generally have 11% higher of a grade in that particular, in one period than if the students who were requested to come and did not manage to show up. So that's the difference between failing and passing with a D, or maybe even a C minus. So that's data we're really proud of. And I'm gonna let Marlena talk about what's going on this year and beyond.
So I'd mentioned before we had 2 tiers now. So when we started originally, we had 1 tier just kind of forced them to come to our classrooms, and now we recognize a need for tier 2, the students that want to be there and opt to stay. And they're separate populations, so a lot of the time, like she kind of mentioned, it's babysitting where, oh, you need a binder, oh, you need a pen, here we go, number 3, versus the students who need help with calculus. And we have the paraeducators, which I mentioned is huge, and that's thanks to Cristina. It was not my idea at all, and it ended up being amazing. He has a huge, I think probably 17 or 18 students that go there religiously, and it's Monday through Thursday, and they only have to be there Wednesday and Thursday, but they go 4 times a week. And that's also due to transportation, which we have 4 days a week now after school, free busing that comes back at 5 o'clock to pick the students up. And that is completely site funded, so our admin has really gotten behind. And if you want to do something similar at your sites, I strongly recommend getting admin involved because their support with us has really helped. And the incentive program, I mentioned that before earlier, the Target gift cards, snacks, we were able with grant funding, and this year we wrote it into the grant, to just get snacks for the students. I mean, it's 5 o'clock, they've been at school all day, and they're hungry, and they're tired, and we are too, so it's really nice to be able to get them there with those incentives. And we really want to refocus back on 9th graders. I'm also a link crew coordinator at the high school, so we have access to a lot of students who want to help. And for the next steps, we're looking to recruit more mentor teachers. It's really hard to get teachers to stay after, both of them, students and teachers to stay after we've done a full day of teaching, and it's like teaching another period for 90 minutes a day. Let's see, the next thing. We want to build up the incentive program. That's huge. Instead of keeping them after for detentions for things they hadn't stayed after anyways, that doesn't really work. And so what's really happened is doing the positive correlation and positive reinforcement and having them stay after. And we want to move it from a teacher kind of ran organization where there's 2 of us running the entire after school program for a population of over 2,000 students to really admin taking over the running of the program where we can go back to being the mentors. And we do have a large meeting next week with all of our counselors, all of the admin team to move this into the next round. So this grant, we received $15,000 the first year, $20,000 this year, and it's really moved our school from having 0 after school intervention program at all to now having somewhere where every student can go 4 days a week and raise their grades, get help with FAFSA, get help with college entrance. So it's really made a difference at our site.
And we are just about out of time, but really quick, we'd love to talk with any of you at lunch or afterward about how to get this kind of thing started at your program. And very quick, shout out to our WTA union president, Don Stoffer. He's the one who recommended we apply for this grant in the first place, which we'd never heard of. And it's allowed us to do so much more than we imagined we would get to do otherwise. So thank you, Don, and thank you, everybody.
Learn more about the Institute for Teaching and its commitment to strength-based teacher-driven change at www.teacherdrivenchange.org and follow us on Twitter @CTAIFT.